Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
We are just live in the new center of communication. National News on Air.
Good morning, Philippines. Good morning, world. Today is just day 7 in the March, and we are live here at Batangas State University.
For the details, One News. China is emerging as a new superpower in science and technology, reflected in the sources of its spacecraft and high-velocity maglev trains.
China has become a major contributor to science and technology. It now employs an increasingly large labor force of scientists and engineers. Here is Javines for more details.
Thank you, Elsa. As for China, the remarkable inventions and technological achievements of Chinese civilizations are not only shaped but continuously influence the world until today as they did at their inception. Right here we have Miss Crizalyn Anounuevo, a freshman and a foreign student from Wuhan University that is now studying at Batangas State University. She would be giving us information about China's inventions. Miss Crizalyn, can you give us more information about China's technological achievements?
Some of the technological achievements are discoveries of compass, gunpowder, movable tape, bronze, and etc. And so those are just a few examples, and I still remember that the discoveries or their invention of the 9th century, and I do believe that until now, the Chinese citizens are still using it. Yes, that's all.
So this is fantastic, Elsa. There are lots of technological achievements that clearly made a great impact in our society. We all know that China has been one of the sources of many innovations, science discoveries, and inventions. To sum everything up, the history of science and technology in China is both amazing and rich with science and technology. That's it for the state of science and technology in China. Taigan shala, Miss Crizalyn, and have a good day. This is Nicolette Javines reporting. Back to you, Elsa.
Thank you, Javines.
For our next news, South Korea's position as one of the most innovative nations is a remarkable achievement, considering that for the first half of the 20th century, it was an agrarian-based Japanese colony than a battleground. For more details, here's Miss Daniela Almero.
Today, the annual science fair of Seoul National University is being held here in its campus grounds, where various South Korean inventions dating from Asian Revolution are being showcased. This can be traced back to the 90s, when South Korea established policies that encouraged the growth of a domestic technology industry. The country became a global leader in electronics, robotics, and others. And here today, we are going to talk to some of the students of the university. Here with me today is Miss Erika Pascual, one of the student organizers of the fair, to share some knowledge on the Asian Revolution. Miss Pascual, what do you think were the results of the technological advancement in South Korea during the Asian Revolution?
I think the Asian Revolution in South Korea, referring to the rapid and transformative growth of the country's technology sector, has propelled it to become one of the world's leading economies.
And what do you think contributed to success of South Korea's technology industry?
The government's support and investments were definitely the backbone. Through their fundings, initiatives to develop a highly educated workforce in the technology sector were made possible.
It seems like the government laid the foundation for the revolution. And what do you have with you today? Can you tell us more about those?
Yes, of course. These are actually some widely used inventions which originated in South Korea during the Asian Revolution, featured here in our science fair. Like the MP3 players, which were introduced by the Saihan Information System. Another would be the flexible TV screen, which is a flat screen TV which can be rolled up to 100,000 times from LG displays. And here are some pictures of PC banks or internet cafes, which came about as a solution to highly expensive computers back in the day.
South Korea really contributed a lot in the worldwide technology scene. Thank you, Ms. Pascual, for your time and knowledge.
Thank you, and it was a pleasure.
For some instance, South Korea is famous for their cinematography, cosmetics, the popular K-pop boy groups and girls, and also their scenery. But now, we can say that South Korea is not just for entertainment, but also advanced in their technological inventions in terms of gadgets. Gadgets that are probably useful not just for Korean citizens, but also for citizens worldwide. I am Daniela Almero reporting.
Thank you, Daniela, for that report.
For our next news, Japan refined its government and private sector approaches that had been developed earlier to lower the prices of and maximize the inflow and diffusion of foreign technologies. Here is Ariane Macatangay for more details.
Thank you so much, Elsa and Jesus. Well, now we will talk about Japan. Japan is one of the largest countries here in Asia and one of the most advanced in high-tech when it comes to their technology. The acquisition, effective adoption, and improvement of technologies from abroad by Japanese industries serve as the basis for Japan's rapid economic and international competitiveness in a wide variety of manufacturing industries. The Japan government's role in the acquisition and diffusion of technologies complemented the development of superior production and enterprise systems by Japanese industry. But things now are going to change. Japanese industries and government have the less average to extract technology from foreign companies than they once did. And there is less scope for low-risk borrowing. Japan is renewing efforts to build a greater domestic capabilities for generating fundamental innovations and new approaches to international cooperation. So, we're gonna tackle about some of their famous inventions from Japan. First is the car navigation, second is the QR code, the bulletin train, and lastly, the selfie stick. So what is a car navigation? Years before GPS was a thing cutting edge, Japanese researchers at Honda came up with the world's first based map car navigation system. It is launched in 1981. The electro gyrocator was designed to be attached to the dashboard and resembled a very large and chunky satellite navigation device. So it is a tracker where the vehicle was, no matter how far, no matter how the speed it was. So we all know that no matter what the brand of your car is, there is a navigation system. Next is the QR code. What is a QR code? Those black and white squares that can be scanned to instantly convey the information have been around for a long time, but they have taken significance during the COVID-19 pandemic. Deployed in our track and trace systems and providing a contactless ways for customers to read menus in bars and restaurants. So we use it in different situations, whether it was in school, whether it was a hospital, and so on. So these are the some inventions of Japan, and I am Ariane Macatangay reporting.
Thank you, Ariane Macatangay.
For our next news, let us go back here to the Philippines. Did you know that there are some Filipino inventions from the past up to the present? For more information, here's Miss Lorraine Bautista.
So here in the Philippines, there are lots of Filipino inventions in which show the developmental skills of the Filipinos. First is the bamboo incubator, which was developed in 1941 by Dr. Fidel Mundo to help the families from rural communities. This improvised incubators contains 2 laundry baskets, one placed inside, and they will put hot water bottles all around the baskets to regulate the body temperature of the babies. Second is the erythromycin, which was invented by Dr. Abelardo Aguilar in 1949. This is an antibiotic used in treating infections of the respiratory tract and diphtheria, as well as the urinary tract infections and sexually transmitted diseases. Third are the jeepneys, which were created in 1950s. I know that we all know that this is one of the trademarks of the Philippines as it is our primary source of transportation. They were refashioned from military vehicles that was left behind by the US soldiers after World War II.
Thank you, Lorraine, for that report.
And now let's go to India. It recognized 11 research institutes at the national level and stressed their importance in the development of the country's future. Here is Gwyneth Adaya.
Thank you, Miss Elsa. And now we are going to talk the inventions from India from the past up until the present. So way back 1947 to 1957, it was establishment of a 5-year plan which prioritized scientific research and actions to be taken in key sectors such as agriculture, science, infrastructure, and education. It also prioritized laying the foundation of scientific research in the country and largely focused on initiatives for building or enhancing national laboratories and research centers. And the second innovations was way back 1967 to 1977. It was the Indian's first satellite, or the Aryabhata. It was the first ever Indian satellite which was designed and manufactured in India and was launched on 19th of April 1975. ISRO, or the Indian Space Research Organization, developed Aryabhata to execute X-ray astronomy, aeronomy, and social physics. And the third innovation was the DNA printing. It was way back 1987 to 1997. DNA printing in India came into existence in 1988 when Council of Scientific and Industrial Research Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology scientists developed the technique and made it available for use, making India the third country to develop its own DNA printing probe.
Thank you, Gwyneth, for that very informative report.
For Taiwan, historically, innovation has been a source of comparative advantage. Here is Gaylynn Dimaano for more details.
Now let's talk about Taiwan. So Taiwan is a hub for technological innovation with thriving technological industry that is constantly pushing the boundaries of what is possible. From the smartphones and computers to semiconductors and renewable energy, Taiwan is at the forefront of many of the most important technological advancements of our time. So to give us more knowledge about the advancement of technology in Taiwan, here is Miss Marlyn. So good morning, Marlyn. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Miss Gail. It's my pleasure to be here.
So that's amazing. Can you tell us some of the major changes that have taken place in the technology industry at Taiwan?
Yes, definitely. Taiwan has a long history of innovation of technology, and one of the biggest changes in recent years has been the development of semiconductor manufacturing such as TSMC or Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company and UMC or United Microelectronic Corporation. These companies has been the forefront of producing cutting-edge chip and to power everything from smartphones to computers.
So that's exciting to hear, Marlyn. Thank you so much for sharing your insight with us today.
Thank you, Miss Gail. It's a great experience to be here and share it with you.
That would be all here. I am Gaylynn Dimaano reporting. Back to you, Jesus.
Thank you, Gaylynn Dimaano, for that report.
For our last and final news, many great weapons machines are made by Russian people. A truly great innovation, really achieved. Here's the report of Mr. Bautista.
Ayan, thank you, Jesus. Now, back to the report. From the powerful weapon to the first satellites up to the creation of the vaccine that saves many lives. Russia, the largest country in the world with internationally recognized territory covering 17 million 98,246 square kilometers and encompassing 1/8 of the Earth's inhabitable land masses. Many scientific and medical discoveries, products, and technologies were introduced by various people of Russia. A certain innovation really achieved. Now, who remember this Sputnik 1, the first artificial Earth satellite? It was launched into an elliptical low Earth orbit by Soviet Union on 4th of October 1957 as part of the Soviet space program. It was sent a radio signal back to Earth for 3 weeks before its 3 silver zinc battery ran out, and continued to orbit for 3 more months until aerodynamic drag caused it to fall back into Earth's atmosphere on 4th of January 1958. Now, a truly really majestic invention, and the first flight, Vostok 1, launched for Baikonur Cosmodrome on April 12, 1961, with Soviet cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin, making him the first human to reach orbital velocity around the Earth and to complete a full orbit around the Earth. A little background about the Vostok program. The space race between the Soviet and the United States, the two Cold War superpowers, began just before the Soviet Union launched the world's first artificial satellite, the Sputnik 1, on 1957. Both countries wanted to develop a space flight. Distribution of the vaccine began on December 2020 in countries including Russia, Argentina, Belarus, Hungary, Serbia, Pakistan, in limited quantities, and also in the Philippines, in limited quantities also, and the United Arab Emirates rather. As of now, the researcher and the scientists are still studying on how to eradicate the virus. For now, it is still really advisable for us to take vaccine shot to help our medical institution to eradicate this virus. Now, back to you, Jesus. Thank you.
Once again, we are live here at the News Center of Communication, National News on Air. Again, I am Jesus Lorenz Perez.
And I am Elsa Rodelyn under.
This is One News.
Audio Jungle.